Hey everyone, welcome back. Okay, so S&P did something yesterday, which was very, I would say, anytime S&P has done that, we have seen a strong sell-off following that day, which is death cross. Death cross is a charting pattern that happens when a shorter moving average, which is a 50-day moving average, crosses over 200-day moving average. And it has happened many times before with S&P 500, and it has done something similar every time. But there is a big but here, which we are going to discuss. So what I thought to do is to show you what death cross is, how is it formed, and historically what S&P has done after the death cross and how many days it took for S&P to recover from the death cross. Well, the good news is it has always recovered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the screen and I will show you exactly what I'm talking about here. So on your screen is an S&P 500 chart. And I have outlined about 3 death crosses here, and then I will show you exactly the death cross that happened yesterday. So the first death cross that we are talking about happened in 2016. And it started to happen on 12/29/2015, right here, or 12/22/2015, if I enlarge it right here. So the death cross happened right here, the first one, on 12/15 actually, 12/22/2015. And then since then, it went through when the 50-day moving average, which is the green line right here, and the 200-day moving average is the red line over here. So when the green line crossed over the red line, the stock sell off big time. And the total sell-off was about 11.27% in 2015 and 2016. But one thing to note here is that this particular death cross or S&P 500 was under pressure from 12/21/22, 2015, around that time. So let's say December end, all the way when S&P was kind of similar to where it was when the death cross happened. That was around, I would say, 4/11/2016. So around that time. So it lasted almost 4 months. The 4 months, the pain lasted almost 4 months when we had that death cross, but then it came after, and then it came up, and then it made new highs. Okay, so now let's look at the second death cross. The second death cross that happened, and I'm not second in historically, but second on our chart. The second death cross happened on 12/4/2018, right here, when we had that big crash in 2018, and we lost about 15.23% after that death cross. So when death cross happened, we lost around 15.23%. This death cross also lasted from 12/4/2018 all the way when the S&P was at the same level right here, was around 3/11/2019. So lasted about 3 or 4 months. Same thing, around 12 right here, 12/6 to about 3/13 or 3/10 around that time. So it also lasted close to about 4 months. Then let's talk about 2020 big sell-off that happened. So 2020 was so sudden and so quick that nobody really realized what happened here. Because if you see here, we start selling off on 2/24/2020 and we bottom out on 3/23/2020. So a month of heavy sell-off. That's when the death cross happened for S&P 500, was around, I would say, 3/30/2020. And since then, we only lost about 7.53%. The reason why I'm saying only, because we lost a great deal before that. So if you were to chart this right here, we can see that from all-time high to all-time low, we lost almost 35% in S&P 500 right here. But this time it only lasted, we only lost about 7.53%. And it only took S&P right here from all-time lows, it only took S&Ps about 327 to about 408. So like 10 days to recover from this death cross right here. And since after that time, the S&P started to go up. Now we are talking about, actually, let me get out of this right here, and then I will show you what I'm talking about now. So right now this is happening. See that? We are forming the same death cross. But to me, this death cross is very similar to the death cross that we have seen. I'm going to make it shorter right here for 2020. And I'm going to actually let this go so we can see clearly. And I'm going to take this one out as well. Okay, so see that pattern right here? I feel we are in the same pattern where a major sell-off has already happened. Now the death cross is taking place, and we might see another 5 to 7% drop. Then that bring us to about 4,000 level for S&P right here. But then after that, we are going to go up and we are going to see rally. That's my opinion. Because if I put history together, this is almost 13%, I would say, drop that we have already seen since this death cross. Now, after that, let's say this death cross happened here and we see another, I would say, 5 to 7% drop right here, around 5 to 6% drop. That is going to bring us to about 4,000 level of S&P 500, which Morgan Stanley and many other analysts are coming out and saying that they think that S&P is going to bottom about 3,900 34,000. Some are saying 3,800 as well. So if you were to go, let's say 3,800 S&P level right here. So 3,800 is over here. On the right, you can see we are talking about another, I would say, 4. So we are talking about in total of about 10% more drop from where we are right now. I think we are going to bottom out about 5 to 7% since this drop, and I feel that this drop is going to be last one. That's what I'm thinking of, especially Russia, Ukraine. Nobody can really time the market, but making an educated guess from what we have seen before. The other thing that's different than that we haven't seen before is, of course, the war. The war is, of course, that's happening right now is very different, and nobody has experienced that before. So that might make us form new history, as I said in my previous video, and I actually released a video this morning about my top 5 stocks. So if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend watching that video because that's talking about how to buy or when to buy these wonderful names. Let me ask you this. So if you were to go, actually, I'm going to take you back on the chart here. Okay. So let's say that you are, and I'm going to make it bigger so you can see. Okay, so let's say that you were in 2015. Forget 2015, it's too far back. Let's say in 2018, and if you were to buy Apple on 12/26/2018 or in the month of December, anytime over here, and then if you were to sell Apple right now. So let's do this. Let's pull Apple's chart, okay? This is Apple right here. So if you have bought Apple right here, it's 2018 December. Okay, let me just get rid of this right here for a second to make it easier for us to read. Okay, so if you have bought Apple at around the month of December right here, and Apple was trading about $150 at that time pre-split, then Apple split 4-1. If you were to have bought Apple right here, okay, and then Apple is right now trading around 150 as well. So 150 times 4, the actual price of Apple is around 600 pre-split. If Apple was still trading, if Apple wouldn't have split, then Apple would be around 600 right now. So if you would have bought Apple right here at 150, and Apple is, let's say, 600 right now, you would have missed out on almost 300% gain right here if you would have purchased Apple at that death cross that happened in December of 2018. Same thing for 2015, let's say, or 2020, let's say 2020 death cross that happened right here. We saw the death cross happen, and actually not this, but I'm going to show you right here. So if you have purchased Apple right at the death cross of 2020 in the beginning, then at that time, since that time, if you would have bought Apple, you would have again made, let's see how much you would have made. So let's say you bought Apple right here at the death cross that happened, the second one, 94%. You would have doubled your money on Apple if you would have bought in 2020 at the time when market was selling off. So these opportunities, they come very rare, but when they do come, we need to keep our eyes on the horizon that things will get better. This is not the end of stock market. This is not the end of world. Companies like Tesla, Apple, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, I've named all these companies in my top stocks, are going to do wonderful in the coming years. And that's what we have to keep our eyes open and our ears open to kind of listen to and see these kind of things that happened 3 years or 2 years or 4 months down the line. So I really think that we are going to see a little bit more pain in S&P. That cross just happened, and of course these technical levels are, I think, running the show right now. Algos and technical levels are running the show. But then once this is over, we are going to see a retreat, and then these stocks are going to make all-time highs like they always do. So I hope I was able to add some to your DD and some to kind of inform you of what's going on in the market. If you like the video, then consider subscribing and give this video a like. And also for more one-on-one conversation, consider joining our Patreon and Discord. And if you like the charting and the watch list and all the charting that I did today for you, that's available on Moomoo. The link is in the description as well. When you open an account, you will get 5 free stocks, a guaranteed new stock, by just depositing $1. So take advantage of that. Thank you for joining me. It's a quick one. Until next time, you all have a sparkling day.